Hi, I'm Rachel. Welcome to my channel. This is another in my series of wardrobe basics suitable for a capsule wardrobe, and this week I am looking at trousers. I've chosen 10 patterns to review for you, various silhouettes and styles and varying levels of ability as well. So let's begin. Okay, I'm starting with a wide leg trouser from Fibermood, the Peachy's trouser. A high waist, wide leg with side pockets, optional back welt pockets if you don't fancy them. It's got darts at the back to either side. It's got pleats at the front. It's got a front fly fastening with a zip. And it's suitable for sort of fluid drapey fabrics like crepe or viscose, sort of a medium to heavyweight fabrics, and it's a really classic silhouette. It's got elements of a menswear trouser and just a really useful piece. And although it's a wide leg trouser, it's not too wide because there are some really extreme wide trousers around, and I know from my point of view I'm about 5'5" and I can wear a wide leg trouser. It's taken some getting used to, but I'm not overly tall, so I don't want to go too wide, and I'll talk about that when I talk about the next pattern actually. So anyway, Fibermood Peachy's trouser, paper or PDF, UK sizes 4 to 30. Okay, moving on to another wide leg trouser, and I've actually made this style up, and it's from Viki Sews. It's the Tasha trouser. It's a straight cut trouser, very simple. It's got a completely flat front. It's got darts at the back for shape. It's got a centre back concealed zip and very, very wide legs. And it's actually got a waist facing without a waistband, which is just sort of sits around the waist. If you know Viki Sews patterns, you'll know that their patterns are in 4 heights. And also in sizes 34 to 52, which is a Euro size. Now, I have made these trousers and they are lovely, and I chose them because of their simplicity. The one thing I did do, I think I just said I'm about 5'5", so I don't like to go too wide on the trouser legs. I actually shaved these in a bit, so either side, the inside leg and the outside leg, I went from about 0 just below the hips, a bit lower on the inside leg, right down to 1 inch at the hem. So I just made them that much, well, I wouldn't say narrow, I just shaved a bit off the hem circ. So I think I made them in about a size 38, and the hem circumference ended up at all round on one trouser leg 66 centimetres. So if you were to measure it flat, it would be 33 centimetres, but you may prefer them to remain as wide as they are. For me personally, I just shaved them in, but it is one of my favourite styles. I'll show you afterwards. I've made a pair in a cool wool very recently, and I fully intend to make the same shape up in different fabrics. It's just great, and it's really, really simple. Okay, moving on to, I featured these before actually. They are the Puff and Pencil Peachy pants, PDF and paper sizes US 0 to 22. So they are a wide leg, but they've actually got a curved leg, so they're a slightly different silhouette, which is quite interesting. Mid-rise, as I said, slightly curved leg, fly front zip and button closure, waistband and back darts, and optional patch pockets. You could have them front and back, just at the front or just at the back. I really, really like that silhouette from Puff and Pencil, and I haven't yet made them. I've reviewed them before, at least once before. They fitted into a pattern review that I was doing, and I just think it's a really nice silhouette and really flattering. Could look quite formal, could be more casual, because you could make them in denim. You could make them in a nice cool wool. You could go either way with those. A really, really nice shape from Puff and Pencil. Okay. This style from McCall's, I'd never seen it before, and I don't know if it's new or I've got no idea. And it just, I don't know, it really appeals to me, and it's got an elasticated back. So this is the McCall's M8527. It's a paper pattern, and a PDF pattern, 8 to 16, 18 to 26, which makes me think it possibly relatively new. I'm not sure. So it has a waistband, but the back is elasticated, and that does make it a bit easier to fit, and they are always more comfortable, aren't they? Trousers with an elasticated waistband. Fly front, zip, hook and bar closure, belt loops and side slash pockets, and they've got these really cute turn-ups, and that's just a really simple, lovely trouser. Really like that style, and I had never caught my attention before, so I don't, as I say, I don't know if it's a recent addition. Particularly like that style from McCalls. And another one that I hadn't noticed before from New Look, the N6660, a paper pattern 8 to 20, size 8 to 20. I don't know whether just because it's a paper pattern means it's older, I've got no idea, but a really cute shape. So it's a high-waisted silhouette with a slightly flared hem, only slightly, and I just think they're super flattering, and they've got them in 2 lengths. So you've got a fly front, and you've got front and back darts, and you have belt carriers and optional pockets, a stitched hem, and you've got this lovely kick flare. So the stripe style on the model is ankle length, but obviously the illustrated version in yellow, which has got a really interesting looking trim on it, really nice, is cropped. A lovely style, and I'm very tempted to try those. So again, New Look, paper sizes 8 to 20. Be nice in a stretch woven. Okay, so moving on to the assembly line, a really great pair of classic trousers. So these are called the regular fit trouser. Paper or PDF sizes extra small times to 3 times extra large rather. So they're described as having a high waist, straight full length legs, side slant pockets, and a left side zipper opening. Now, it's a really basic shape, and I think it's a really useful shape for your wardrobe. And interestingly, this pattern is adjustable, and the instructions include how you may raise or lower the waist, change the waist width, adjust the mid-front allowance, and alter the length. So it's a really simple style, and you've got the necessary information there to make them fit really well. And I think it's worth, maybe I've got a couple of trouser patterns I use, and I think it's worth spending time on getting a really good fit on a basic trouser pattern, and you can use it on repeat. And I mean, you could actually taper the legs a little bit more, you could make the legs wider, so you're almost using it as a basic block. So a really versatile and useful pattern there from the assembly line, the regular fit trouser. Okay, next we have a vintage style, and I've bought this and I've not yet made them. It's the Vogue Vintage V9189, circa 1960, I believe, and they actually offer this in full length, knee length, mid-knee thigh length, and shorts, and I think the illustrations are just lovely. But what a flattering silhouette, really beautiful. So tapered, fitted through the hips, they've got a waistband, a side button, slanted pockets, side zip and belt carriers. So a great style in a really nice stretch woven, I think. It's only a paper pattern, but size 6 to 14 or 14 to 22. Okay, next we have an offering from, these are from Mimi G, the Simplicity S8655. Now, I've chosen this for the straight leg version, although there's a bell bottom option as well, but I really like the tapered sort of cigarette pant look here. So it's the S8655, it's a Mimi G pattern, paper or PDF, 6 to 14 or 16 to 24. Very simple, high waist, very slim, or as I said before, with the bell bottom hem. Suitable for stretch wovens, and you've got pockets at the back. I suppose it could be optional if you didn't want to include them, and it looks like that's seaming at the front and back, and fairly deep stitched hem, so a really nice simple shape there from Mimi G. Okay, these trousers are from French Navy, and they're called the Calyer pants. PDF size is 6 to 34, so that's over 2 size sets, so very inclusive size sets there. So if you look at the line drawing, you can either have a completely flat front or you can have pleats, and it's got front pockets that go into that front seam that runs down the length of the front of the trouser, and also you have a elasticated waistband, so you've got the most of the front waistband is flat, and then it becomes elasticated around the just at the very sides and at the back by the looks of it. They sit just below the waist. They have a slightly dropped crutch, and of course they've got these inseam pockets, so a really quite a nice sort of easy looking shape if you want that an easy but tapered looking shape, rather than a very tight cigarette pant like the one we looked at previously. So I think that's got a nice silhouette there from French Navy. And last but by no means least, this is another Mimi G pattern, the Simplicity S3167, and it's kind of like I'd call it a slight barrel leg. So there are a lot of barrel leg trousers around in the stores, and there are lots of patterns as well, and I've got a Vogue pattern and I haven't made them yet because I'm sitting on the fence. I keep meaning to actually go and try some on in a shop to see what they look like on me. So these have got an element of the barrel leg about them, but they are not too pronounced, and I think they're really elegant actually, and they're also slightly cropped. So it's a PDF pattern, sizes 8 to 16 or 18 to 26, cropped, barrel leg, loose fit, front pleats, side front pockets, a back welt pocket, and a stitched hem. So I think that style rounds the selection of 10 up nicely. So if you've made any of them, please share your experience, or maybe you have got a favourite trouser pattern, please share that also. And here's a very, very, very quick look at my Viki Sews Tasha trousers, which I made very recently. So as I said at the very beginning, this is another in my series of wardrobe basics. I've already covered the shift dress, the shell top and the skirt. So this was the fourth in the series, and I have got a playlist which includes the original video about the capsule collection, and then it's going to include, when I've done it in the end, it will have the 7 wardrobe basics. So I'm on this is number 4, and I will link that below. And I've also done other trouser pattern reviews, so I will link those too. As I said before, please share your experiences of trouser patterns. Do you have a favourite one that you make on repeat, or have you made any of these? Please share with us. It would just be interesting to know. I've only made the Viki Sews pattern, obviously, but I haven't made the rest of them, but it would be nice to know if anybody else has. I also wanted to ask, I've been asking this repeatedly, regular viewers will know that I did a viewers makes review earlier this year, in 2025, and I want to do another one in the new year, 2026, but obviously I need your makes, so please send me your makes at this email address, and I will feature the photograph you send me. It's great to have a photograph of you wearing your creation, if not on a stand, if not on a hanger or flat, and any information about the pattern and the fabric you use, whether it's a bought pattern or you've cut the pattern yourself, whether you've done a pattern hack. It's always really interesting to know. And also finally, it's great to know your name and where you're from. I've had some anonymous emails, so it's just nice to know who you are, so I can name you, give you a name check when I talk about your creations. So if you haven't seen the original Viewers Makes video. I'll link it below at the end of the description so you can have a look and see what that's all about. But it went down quite well, and it's just nice from the point of view of a sense of community to see what everybody does. It's just interesting. So that's it for this week, and please like, share and subscribe, and I'll be back next week. Bye.